Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs on occasion or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or NGO functions, and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium, and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474, Star Times Channel 474, Topstar 474, Kliye 007, GoTV on Channel 807, Azam on Channel 386, and live streams on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can find us in Area 2 Lilongwe or can reach us on 0883 815 055. Come, let us help you grow your business.
Hello and thank you for joining us right here on Luntha Television. It's time for news and with me, Jacqueline Saidi. First, the headlines.
Likulu la mpingo Katolika lathandiza nsembe awiri aku Ukraine kuti amasulidwe ku ukapolo wa ku Russia. Bungwe la Meiji lati dziko la Malawi lilibe kuthekera kokwaniritsa masomphenya a 2063 kamba kakuchuluka kwa ngongole. Unduna wa zaulimi wakhazikitsa buku la zaupangiri pa ulimi, ndipo mu nkhani za m'mayiko ena anthu osachepera atatu amwalira pa zionetsero zokhudza chisankho ku Mauritius.
We have these and more. Stay with us. Vatican has helped the release of 2 Ukrainian priests from Russian captivity. The priests were kidnapped in November 2022 by Putin's troops. Since then, they have spent 2 years imprisoned in Russia. We have a room report being read by Charity Chilanga.
The Greek Catholic Church had been demanding the release of the priests for more than a year and appealing to the international community. They also claim that they received alarming evidence that they were being tortured on a daily basis. Upon their arrival in Ukraine, they were welcomed by the nuncio. Pope Francis also announced the news and continued to call for the release of all prisoners. This action is one part of the Vatican's diplomatic plan. Ukrainian President Zelensky thanked the Holy See for its mediation from his social media accounts. The major archbishop of the Ukrainian Catholic Church also extended his gratitude not only to the Pope, but to Cardinal Parolin and Cardinal Zuppi as well.
Members of Parliament have been challenged to advocate for the voiceless and ravage their positions for the common good. Father Henry Banda, chaplain for Catholic members of Parliament, praised the late soldier Lucius Banda as an MP with a strong conscience who consistently stood up for the truth. Following a special program on Luntha television, Minister of Lands, Lucius, who is also a Catholic legislator, remarked that Lucius Banda was a champion for the poor in Parliament, in addition to his contributions through music. Robert Edward reports.
The late Sir Soldier Lucius Banda is widely celebrated for his musical contributions, touching many lives with his songs and supporting emerging artists. However, on Wednesday, Catholic members of Parliament highlighted his parliamentary legacy, where he served as an MP. Following a special program on Luntha television, Minister of Lands Deus Gumba, a Catholic MP, emphasized that, like the late Lucius Banda, MPs should remain true to their Catholic faith. Gumba described Lucius Banda as a soldier of the poor.
Members of Parliament who are also Catholics, it should be our church, the Catholic, to stand first. So it's the church first, and then these other things have to come later. If we go to Parliament, there are lots of issues that are actually tabled in Parliament. But our debate should be focused. We should not forget that we are Catholic. For instance, there are issues that perhaps our church may not really be in favor of, may not agree. But as Catholic parliamentarians or legislators, we are the ones to speak for the voiceless, we are the ones to speak for the church. So I really want to urge my fellow Catholic legislators to ensure that we stand by our virtues or by our principles that we are taught by the leadership of the archbishops and the bishops.
Father Henry Banda, the Catholic chaplain for members of Parliament, urges Catholic MPs and all legislators to show compassion for those who are suffering and to always prioritize God.
They stressed much on his honesty to say the truth, and not only honesty, but also his courage to be able to say what is there on the ground without fearing. And I think this is really, I recommend that this is really a required quality of any politician who has to talk for the people. Should emulate his good example of being a committed Catholic, a committed Christian. Because it is only one realizes that being a politician is a vocation. Honorable Lucius Banda was very cautious about that. So I would say that he had a ticking conscience, because some of...
The late Lucius Banda passed away in South Africa on Sunday while receiving kidney treatment. He was a music icon in Malawi and also served as a politician until his death. He was the UTM party campaign director and the presidential advisor on youth affairs. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Still on the death of Lucius Banda, the Catholic Church has called on the public to keep the late Lucius Banda's legacy by imitating his life with faith in charity work. The call was made during a Eucharist Mass offered in his tribute at his home at Gompawi village in Balaka, led by Right Reverend Peter Msukua of Chihuahua Diocese. We have this report, which has been compiled by Rashida Matandika and is being read in our studios by Tandiwe Mzumara.
In his homily, Father Tito Bayani recalled Lucius Banda's life at the Holy Cross Seminary as a youth and went on to describe him as one of the most kind, charitable and talented men that the country has ever had. He said most of the things that the late Banda did were for others, including paying school fees for the needy and helping those that needed his help despite that they were not related. In his speech, the celebrant Right Reverend Bishop Musikua assured the Banda's family Banda will be laid to rest on Thursday the 4th of July, with State President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera expected to be in attendance. The last ceremony will be held at Baraka Stadium, and the late soldier Lucius Banda will be laid to rest at his home village, Sosola.
As tributes are still pouring for the departed Malawi's giant musician Lucius Banda, the international community has chipped in a sorrowful tear over the tragedy. Reggae musician Busy Signal says in a televised eulogy that Lucius Banda was a great man. Banda died at Sanhill Hospital in South Africa on June 30th. Herbert Katanda has filed this report.
Busy Signal, who made his maiden journey to Malawi due to Banda's Sun Music Festival, described the Malawi's sensational musician as a great and thoughtful human. He said Banda was the first musician he knew from Malawi, and they have been good friends until his demise.
Still send my condolences to his family and stuff, because Lucius Banda, great person from the first time we met. And life, that's how life. But give thanks. I celebrate the life of Lucius Banda still. So give my condolences to his family and stuff.
Posting on his Facebook page, leader of the Jamaica's famous reggae dancer group, the Morgan Heritage, Grams Morgan, said he was shocked to learn of Banda's demise. He said he would remember Banda as a friendly person. On the other hand, South African musician Makazi said Banda was no ordinary musician. Lucius Banda, who until his death was presidential advisor on youth and arts, died at Sanhill Hospital in South Africa, where he was admitted since March 8, 2024. In its statement, government said the nation will live to remember Lucius as a dedicated and selfless son of Malawi, who grandly and courageously fought all his life for the betterment of lives of ordinary people through his music and politics.
Remember, you're still watching news right here on Luntha Television. We'll be back with more after the break.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs, on location or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or indoor functions, and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474, Star Times Channel 474, Topstar 474, Kriyekilie 007, GoTV on Channel 807, Azam on Channel 386, and live streams on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can find us in Area 2 Lilongwe or can reach us on 0883 815 055. Come, let us help you grow your business.
Welcome back, and if you've just tuned in, know that it's news time at Radio Luntha Television, coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center. Moving forward, the Malawi Economic Justice Network mention has expressed concerns about Malawi's ability to achieve the first 10-year implementation phase of the Malawi 2063 plan due to its current date burden. Median's Vice Board Chairperson, Reverend Innocent Shikuba, made these comments today in Lilongwe at the opening of a 2-day National Debt Conference organized by Median. The conference aims to provide a platform for a candid discussion on how unsustainable debt is impacting investments in the social sector and affecting the quality of service delivery. Tanduem Zumara has more on this report.
Reverend Chikoba pointed to Malawi's failure to achieve the ambitious 6% annual economic growth rate as evidence that the government is not following through on its commitments. He criticized the Ministry of Finance for not proactively sharing information on the debt situation and accused the National Assembly of passing financial bills without adequate scrutiny.
Debt must be used, or our loans must be used for investments, not for consumption. Then we were also talking that maybe we need to give our MPs ample time to deliberate on the financial bills that are presented on them.
Presiding over the conference, First Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Madalitso Kazombo, highlighted that borrowing for consumption continues to hinder Malawi's economic progress. Kazombo also observed that the executive branch of the government tends to use key gatekeeping stakeholders to easily secure budget approvals for public expenditure.
We are given 10 days, to be able to scrutinize the projects that government is embarking on. You agree with me that 10 days is not enough. Again, if a money bill comes, the standing orders say MPs must be given 28 days for them to scrutinize the bill before it's tabled in Parliament. But most of the times, not only this government, but even the other parliament, other governments that have said this bill was supposed to be tabled a day before.
Meanwhile, Secretary to the Treasury, Bechani Cheleni, has challenged civil society organizations to discuss revenue maximization rather than debts, saying the country's debt is rising because the country cannot finance the ever-growing budgetary needs.
High time Malawians knew the importance of paying their taxes. It's high time Malawians knew that there are certain taxes which must just be paid. And perhaps maybe when it is government speaking, people may not understand well. That's why we are saying that that time has come when the civil society should begin to talk about the responsibilities of the politician, but also the responsibilities of the citizen in as far as it comes to paying taxes.
As of December 2023, Malawi's public debt was approximately 13.9 trillion Malawi kwacha, exceeding 85% of the country's gross domestic product, GDP. The 2024-2025 national budget has earmarked about 24% of its total funds for debt servicing, which is severely impacting the provision of quality social services in key sectors such as health, agriculture, social protection, and education. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwem Zumara.
The Ministry of Agriculture has launched a booklet on Malawi incentives for agricultural diversification and commercialization aimed at providing farmers with easy access to information in the agriculture sector. The booklet, launched by Minister of Agriculture Sam Kawali at the Bingo International Conference Center in Lilongwe, outlines the incentives available to farmers in the agriculture sector, including financing opportunities and tax deductions. Emmanuel Georgia with the details.
According to Minister Kawali, the booklet will help farmers to achieve the country's 2063 goals of mechanized and commercialized agriculture. This booklet will help farmers to know what they can benefit from government programs and tax deductions.
That gives all our farmers, as well as potential farmers, an opportunity to find out what incentives are available in the agriculture sector, as well as financing opportunities so that they can access financing to invest in the agriculture sector. A lot of Malawians, they go into farming or agribusiness without knowing what they can benefit from government programs. So we thought we need to bring everything together after working together with Minister of Finance, Minister of Trade and Agriculture to find out what have we given people but they don't know.
Chief Economist in the Ministry of Agriculture, Wazionali Gomeka, added that the booklet will inform farmers about the incentives available in the agriculture sector, including those for cattle rearing and buying machinery.
Incentives that have been put in a booklet, and the booklet that has been launched today, they're not new incentives. These are incentives that have always been there. But now they have just been consolidated so that we just pick only the incentives to do with agriculture, and it will be put in one booklet. In the incentives now are in the Taxation Act mainly, and so there are incentives for different sectors. So this booklet, the main idea, the main benefit of which is that people now will know if they want anything agricultural incentive.
Peace Jerry, a member of Mtendere Cooperatives from Kasungu, welcomed the booklet, saying it will help them learn more about improving agriculture and benefit from tax deductions to buy more machinery, making farming easier. Government is championing agriculture, tourism and mining, called ATM strategy for investments in the country.
Lastly, in international news, just days after the presidential election, Mauritania's authorities have announced that at least 3 people have died in clashes between security forces and protesters. An unspecified number of people were reported injured. Here's an African News report being made by Charity Chilanga.
Demonstrations broke out in the capital and elsewhere across the country late on Monday, after President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani was declared winner of the poll. His comfortable victory in the first round gives the former army chief a second term in office. But the second-placed candidate and renowned anti-slavery activist Bilamo Da Abedi on Monday denounced what he described as massive fraud and claimed the result was false-filled. He promptly called for peaceful demonstrations and peaceful gatherings. The Electoral Commission, which includes representatives of political parties, has dismissed opposition claims about voting irregularities.
Well, that also concludes our bulletin today, but before we go, let's have another look at the headlines. Vatican helps 2 Ukrainian priests to get released from Russian captivity. MPs urged to advocate for voiceless, honoring Lucius Banda's legacy. The Malawi Economic Justice Network has questioned Malawi's ability to implement Malawi 2063 due to debt burden. And in other news, at least 3 people have died in post-election protests in Mauritania. You have been with me, Jacqueline Saidi. Thank you very much for watching Luntha Television, and stay safe.